Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about some of the very important questions from the history chapter 1. Okay, under social science, the rise of nationalism in Europe. This is for CBSE syllabus class 10. So we will learn some of the 3 marks questions, right? Short answer questions that will be expected or asked for 3 marks. In the previous video also we learned many 3 marks questions. In this video also some more questions we will actually learn. Question number 1. Explain the conditions that were viewed as obstacles to the economic exchange and growth by the new commercial classes during the 19th century in Europe. This question will be asked for 3 marks. Your answers will be: in the economic sphere, liberalism stood for the freedom of markets and the abolition of state-imposed restrictions on movement of goods and capital. But in the 19th century, Napoleon's administrative measures had created, out of countless small principalities, a confederation of 39 states. Each possessed its own currency and weights and measures. Second point, a merchant traveling from Hamburg to Nuremberg had to pass through 11 custom barriers and pay 5% duty at each one of them. Third point, as each region had its own system of weights and measures, this involved time-consuming calculations. Such conditions were viewed as obstacles to economic growth and exchange by the new commercial classes, who argued for the creation of a unified economic territory, allowing free movements of goods, people, and capital. These 3 are considered as obstacle. Okay. Next question is, describe the events of French Revolution which had influenced the people belonging to other parts of Europe. Your answer will be: the first clear-cut expression of nationalism came with the French Revolution in 1789. In 1789, France was under the rule of an absolute monarch. When the revolutionaries came to power in France, they were determined to create a new sense of unity and nationhood. For this, they emphasized the concept of France being the fatherland for all French people who were from now on addressed as citizens. They were given the tricolor flag, the 3 color representing liberty, equality, and fraternity. French revolutionaries introduced various other measures also. They are as follows. First one, the Estate General was elected by the body of elective citizens and renamed the National Assembly. New hymns were composed, oaths taken, and martyrs commemorated, all in the name of the nation. A centralized administrative system was put in place, and it formulated uniform laws for all citizens within its territory. Internal customs duties and dues were abolished, and a uniform system of weights and measures was adopted. Regional dialects were discouraged, and French, as it was spoken and written in Paris, became the common language of the nation. They further declared that it was the mission and the destiny of the French nation to liberate the people of Europe from despotism and help them to become nations. This will be your answer. And next question is, how did the nationalism develop through culture in Europe? Explain. Or describe the role of culture in shaping the feelings of nationalism in Europe from 1830 to the end of 19th century. Answer is, culture, music, dance, and religion played an important role in the growth of nationalism. Role of culture was important in creating the idea of the nation. Art, poetry, music, etc. helped in developing and expressing nationalist feelings. Romanticism was a cultural movement that led to the development of nationalist sentiment. Romantic artists and poets criticized the glorification of reason and science and instead focused on emotions and intuition. Language also played an important role. Language too played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. After Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools and Russian language was imposed everywhere. In 1831, an armed rebellion against Russian rule took place, which was ultimately crushed. Following this, many members of the clergy in Poland began to use language as a weapon of national resistance. Music and dance played an important role. Romantics, such as the German philosopher Herder claimed that true German culture was to be discovered among the common people. That's what it was through folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances that the true spirit of the nation was popularized. Three important factors. They played very important role. One is culture, then music, dance, and religion. Next question is, how had the female figures become an allegory of the nation during 19th century in Europe? Analyze. Answer is, artists in the 18th and 19th centuries portrayed nations as female figures. The female form that was chosen to personify the nation did not stand for any particular women in real life. Rather, it sought to give the abstract idea of the nation in concrete form. That is, the female figure became the allegory of the nation. In France, she was named Marianne, a popular Christian name, and in Germany, Germania wears a crown of oaks leaves as the German oak stands for heroism. The characteristics of Marianne were drawn from those of liberty and republic. The red cap, the tricolor, and cockade. Next question is, describe any three steps taken by the French revolutionaries to create a sense of collective identity amongst the French people. Answer is, the first clear-cut expression of nationalism came with the French Revolution in 1789. In 1789, France was under the rule of an absolute monarch. When the revolutionary came to power in France, they were determined to create a new sense of unity and nationalhood. For this, they emphasized the concept of France being the fatherland. For all French people who were from now and addressed as citizens, they were given the tricolor flag, the three colors representing liberty, equality, and fraternity. French revolutionaries introduced various other measures also. They are as follows. The State General was elected by the body of active citizens and renamed the National Assembly. New hymns were composed, oaths taken, and the martyrs commemorated, all in the name of the nation. A centralized administrative system was put in place and it formulated uniform laws for all citizens within its territory. Internal customs, duties, and dues were abolished and a uniform system of weights and measures was adopted. Regional dialects were discouraged and French, as it was spoken and written in Paris, became the common language of the nation. They further declared that it was the mission and destiny of the French nation to liberate the people of Europe from despotism and help them to become nations. Next question is, describe any three economic hardships faced by Europe in the 1830s. Answer is, following the causes of economic hardships in Europe during 1830s. Europe had come under the grip of large-scale unemployment. In most of the countries, there were more seekers of jobs than employment. Cities had become overcrowded and slums had emerged as population from the rural areas migrated to the cities. Even small producers in towns were often faced with stiff competition from imports of cheap machine-made goods from England, where industrialization was more advanced, specifically in the field of textile production. Next point, in those regions of Europe where autocracy still enjoyed power, peasants struggled under the burden of feudal dues and obligations. The rise of food prices and bad harvest added to the hardships of the peasants. These were some of the economic hardships faced by Europe in the 1830s. Thank you. In this video, we have learned some of the very important questions asked for 3 marks. We will actually meet in the next video with some more questions.